Hey, I've got a question for you, and it's really important. I want to ask you, do you truly love your sin? Do you really love it? Because you probably don't love it as much as you think you do. I was reading out of 1 John chapter 3, and there were some verses that really hit me. Verse 4 says, by the way, this is the NIV. It says, everyone who sins breaks the law. In fact, sin is lawlessness. But you know that he appeared so that he might take away our sins, and in him is no sin. Verse 6 says, no one who lives in him keeps on sinning. No one who continues to sin has either seen him or known him. By the way, I'm not saying this by any means to shame anyone or to guilt anyone. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is we're all still sinners. We have a sin nature, but we are children of God. Verse 7, dear children, do not let anyone lead you astray. The one who does what is right is righteous, just as he is righteous. Verse 8, this is the main one I wanted to focus on. The one who does what is sinful is of the devil, because the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the devil's work. Verse 9, no one who is born of God will continue to sin, because God's seed remains in them. They cannot go on sinning, because they have been born of God. And then verse 10 says, this is how we know who the children of God are and who the children of the devil are. Anyone who does not do what is right is not God's child, nor is anyone who does not love their brother or sister. So I honestly believe that a lot of us have lied to ourselves, or we've somehow tricked ourselves into believing that we love this sin so much. But really, deep down, in the deepest part of your soul, I know that you desire to please God, and God knows that you desire to please Him. However, that sin nature, it oftentimes gets in the way quite a lot more than it should. I've been walking with God for about 2 years now, maybe a little longer, and that sin nature, it's always getting in the way. The flesh and the spirit desire what is completely opposite. As Paul says in Romans, he has the desire to do good, but he cannot carry it out. It is no longer him who sins, but it is the sin living in him. It's the same thing with you. It's the same thing with me. It's the sin nature living in us that sins. And I'm not saying you can go and sin. Don't do that. Don't just keep willfully sinning. If you're willfully sinning, be honest with yourself. But what I can really encourage you to do is just get on your knees and humble yourself before the Lord and just pour your heart out to Him. Pour your soul out to Him. In the same way, when you're on FaceTime with your best friend, with your closest friend, and you really got a vent, you had a really bad day, or you had a really great day, and it's just completely unfiltered, completely authentic. You just put it all out there, and in those moments, you feel completely safe just being yourself. And just think about this. How much more so should you be comfortable with God? How much more so should you be intimate with God? Just talk to Him like you would anyone else. I'm not saying to call Him bro. I'm not saying to call Him your homie. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is just be completely transparent with Him, because He already knows each and every desire of your heart. Do not continue going on sinning, and do not live like you are of the devil, because you are born again. The new creation has come, a child of God, and that is what you are.